Hi, everybody. Welcome to my Knitpod. This is episode 7, I believe, and today we have a special guest, which is the first guest that has ever been on my podcast, and it is my cousin, Kel. And I'll just let her introduce herself and do all the talking, and we'll get right into it.
Knitpod 7.
You can talk about anything.
I brought my knitting.
Oh, cool. Me too.
Well, first of all, your shirt, I didn't know you were making that, or were you using up leftover yarn? I just didn't know. I hadn't heard of that idea. So then when you were making it, it was a surprise project for me.
Oh yeah, it was a sudden decision. There is a knitwear designer called James Watts that was doing an open test knit, so I just decided to join that and kind of did
that's cool.
very quickly. So yeah. What are you working on right now?
Well, it's my sweater that's never ending.
Oh,
I
cool.
only work on it a little bit at a time or sometimes because we're just making the body right now. And it's
wow.
some straight knitting.
You're pretty far on that already.
Yeah, and I haven't really been working on it. I like this yarn. It's from the Meg's farm from you and I.
Oh, cool. Yeah, that's the best.
It's really good, structured because I want it to be one of those sweaters that are also kind of like a jacket. So I'm making it, and then I might make it so that it has a Henley thing. I'm just doing Elizabeth Zimmerman's basic sweater pattern, so I think I could add that.
Oh, that's cool.
It's a problem for later. But then I'm gonna buy it. It's kind of boring because there's no color change and you're just straight knitting, but then I'm gonna dye it with sumac. So that's why just white right now.
Yeah, that's cool. And what color is the sumac gonna make? Is that a golden brown or yellow?
Kind of rusty red or peach.
Oh, okay.
Or cool. Brownish red.
Yeah, that's really cool. I like that.
Me too. I liked how your shirt that you made, I like how the sleeves are kind of the same length as the shirt.
Yeah, I did that on purpose.
You did?
Yeah, it was my idea. And it's done now, but it's I blocked it, so it's drying right now. That's why I did not bring it into the room. Yeah. But I guess now would be a good time to show you these little charms that I got to put on the hem. I'll show you.
This is a little jester shirt because
yeah, exactly.
The colors are pretty medieval, but it's also 90s because the colors are also 90s. And also I feel that cut where it's the same length, the sleeves and the body, and then your stomach is just there is super 90s, I feel like.
Yeah. So it is really. It's 90s and 60s or 70s medieval revival. It has, and actually the 90s had a medieval revival too. So it's that was my idea, was medieval revival vibes.
I love that.
And I can't, the lighting in this room is really bad to show these. I'm going to show it on this camera, these little stars. And then I'll show it to you, try to anyway. Cover my
Snapchatted them to me.
My face.
Yeah, this is gonna be awesome.
Yeah. And they're made out of brass. And it's to weigh down the hem because it's not, there's no edge finish on it. It's just a raw stockinette stitch piece. Yeah. So it's curling over. So I'm going to try to weight it down with these beads. And I want it to actually be a little bit pointy on the edge a little bit. Yeah, that's my idea.
I hope that they are heavy enough to do that. And also that's really cool because not only is it adding visual interest, but it's functional.
Exactly. You get it.
I like fully support this.
Thank you. Um, yeah, do you want to like introduce yourself for the viewers? Like tell
Oh
me
yeah.
who
Hey
who you tell me who you are and what you're into and like and what I guess you already said what you're working on right now, but I'll ask you more questions later, but you can start
I
with
have
that.
multiple projects going on, so we can talk about. Well,
Okay.
there's my name is Kel. I am M's cousin or cuz. And we are having a cousin chat because she's in Germany and it's like a 9.5 hour difference. And so it's Sunday morning. That's why I look like a corn chip. Um, I also have basketball on in the background because it's March Madness.
Oh my gosh, you do. That's so
All
classic.
weekend I've just been watching basketball all weekend and doing the laundry mountain because my washing machine broke and I had to get a new one. And I washed some stuff in the bathtub, but I had like a lot of laundry that was like backlogged. So it's like really awesome though. I realized my old washer was really small. And so it was like rookie hour. And now I'm like doing real laundry. Like I can put like 2 blankets in there. So I don't
Nice.
know if that's related to the Knitpod, but
No, I think we can talk about anything because I personally love podcasts where they just talk about random stuff the whole time. They're like the best. They're the most interesting ones.
yeah. Plus, we have so many interesting things to say.
Yeah, it's true. And also, I wanted to say for all the viewers, like you're kind of like a social lubricant for me. Like anytime I'm around you, I feel like way more outgoing and like socially capable. So this might be like a more interesting episode for everybody than normal.
Well, it's also like super awkward when you record a knit pod and it's just you because it's like when you leave a voicemail on someone's phone and it always comes out really awkward because you're the only one talking for like a long time. And then it's
Yeah,
like you
it's
can't stop talking, but you like need to.
it's like a different skill than having a conversation talking to yourself or talking by yourself.
Yeah, and I don't know, like maybe if you're really good at it, you're just like a narcissist. I don't I can't I guess I can't even think of like an example about that. So
I think like actors who do monologues, that would be an example of like where they get good at talking alone, but then again, they have a script, so they know exactly what to say.
yeah, you like planned it out. I don't know. Otherwise it's like stream of consciousness maybe, which could be interesting, but it also might get like kind of crazy.
Yeah. Um, so you're working on that sweater. What else are you working on in terms of crafts things?
Well, I ordered like so much yarn. I've been looking at thrift stores, but like I always wish I could go to that thrift store that you would go to in Texas that was like craft supplies.
Oh, I
Uh
love that place.
because the thrift stores here like don't have very much yarn. And if they do, it's like acrylic, which for a blanket I guess is fine because then you can wash it. So I just like bought it, but I just like felt like I needed to make crochet a blanket. It's like for
Oh
me
yeah.
the ideal amount of like relaxing and mindlessness, but like enough interest because you're doing your stitch, and then it's like kind of comforting because you're like literally making yourself a blanket and you change colors. So it's great. Anyway, it's for I'm making both my brothers a blanket. So this one's for John and Parker first.
Oh, cool. Was that all the yarn that I saw a picture of? It was like many colors
Yeah,
together.
yeah, it's
Oh,
rainbow. But also I've been like just trying out different stitches to see like what kind of pattern I want to make.
hmm.
It's kind of like rainbow and rainbow ombre like browns. But I like had this one I liked, but that yarn is it's pretty thin. It's like worsted weight, but I feel like with the blanket, you want it to be like textured, you know?
Mm-hmm.
Otherwise, it's too flat. So I
Yeah.
found this new stitch that I'm trying that's like a basket weave stitch, but you do it in a granny square.
Oh, cool.
And I think it will give the texture that I want and also be cool with like the rainbow uh type of thing. So maybe if we do another Knitpod, I can show you because I haven't even like completed all the rows yet. I was doing it last night.
Oh, yeah. I would love to have you on again. That would be a good idea, I think, just to keep this yeah, like I said, I feel like I'm better at talking when I'm talking to you.
It's fun. Also, is like this is cute. I think we're having like Sunday morning cousin time.
Yeah,
And
it's like an excuse for us to get together.
yeah,
Like, oh, hold on, I need to restart my camera. Okay, because it stops every 12 minutes recording. I'm gonna do another clap. Okay. Um, what was I saying?
well, it's like a good excuse for us to get together because it can be tricky with our both of us get messed up sleep schedules sometimes.
Yeah, with the time difference, it's hard to make it happen sometimes. But if you have like a really solid commitment that is like forcing you to do it, it's a good idea, I think. Or if you schedule.
Yeah, and this is like a really good time for both of us. It's not super early for me and not super late for you. I lived like a whole life before this. I like planted some seeds and like did the dishwasher and like picked up dog poop and yeah, so that was really good. Also,
Yeah,
I'm working on this sweater, which usually I find difficult because I get kind of bored, but if we're talking then it's
it's
like
like it's a knitting circle.
is a transatlantic knitting circle.
Yeah, oh my gosh. Wow. I'm sure someone's done that before, but what if we're the first?
We are pioneers.
um, so what's your favorite craft? Like, do you identify with one craft more than the other, or is it like all of them? And then like maybe you could just talk about like what kind of crafts do you do? What are you into? And like what's your favorite ones? And like what do you get out of each of them, kind of, or whatever you want to talk about?
What a great question. I'm going to answer that and then I want you to answer that also.
Okay.
Um, I think that probably my favorite craft is like fiber arts of any kind.
Yeah.
Dolly, my dog Dolly is having a hard time. She pulled a muscle in her leg, so she has to be on bed rest,
Oh
and
no.
it's not a fun time for her. Poor dog.
Yeah.
But yeah, fiber arts for sure. I need to learn. I want to take a pottery class because I feel like once I do that, there's going to be no going back. But also I do stained glass, which I like love that, but it's, fiber arts, you can like sit on the couch and watch a movie and do it. So that's great.
Hmm.
Also my glass room is unheated, so it's too cold in there still to do glass. So maybe we'll do it later.
Hmm. Oh, by the way, do you just want to mention, because you already said I'm in Germany, but could you mention like what part of the world you're in?
I live in a part of the world called the Palouse. Actually, I've been learning a lot about the history of the Palouse, and it used to be like really beautiful prairie with like lots of flowers and like springs and stuff, but now it's like a monoculture, large
Oh,
agriculture.
that's terrible.
Yeah, but I live in like a valley, so it's got a creek running through it and it has trees and it's a little more visually interesting. But yeah, we're having an early spring actually. Um, so yeah, I'm a park ranger, so I live in this like really old farmhouse and it's just like really cold in here in the winter. So you can't like I don't like to go. It's kind of ironic because winter would be the time to do your crafting, but the craft room is so cold that I don't
It's a
like going.
hostile environment.
Yeah, and like I can put my space here and there, but there's only one outlet, so then you like fry up the electrical. It's like a special time. Anyway, we'll go in there later, I think.
Okay. So the Palouse is in Washington State, for anyone who doesn't know.
It's
So
really
we're
good.
we're pretty far apart from each other right now.
Yeah, I don't like
But we're close together in our hearts.
it. Your favorite like medium or activities? Because I'm
I'll answer that. But first I want to know, are you more of a crocheter or a knitter, or like are they equal for you?
dude, that's a tough question. When I was growing up, I kind of became one of those people who was like a knit snob, and I thought crochet was like lower. Like I used to crochet, but now I only knit. But then when I got older, I don't remember why I like started crocheting again. Do you remember? Because I
Probably
don't.
because it was a trend, it was trending. It became really trendy again for like to wear crocheted stuff.
Yeah, and I think I made something that like called for crochet. So I was like, I think I remember how to do that. And then it really made me appreciate like crochet. First of all, is like I like how kind of free it is, and you can just like rip it back out. Like it's so easy. And I also realized like I just appreciate crochet for like sturdier garments or like housewares.
Yeah.
And knitting is good maybe for like some more fitted, intricate things. I also learned continental knit like pretty recently actually, and that helps because it's, as you know, like less cumbersome than the original. But
The
yeah,
English style.
yeah, than the English style. So I don't know, they're pretty equal for me now, but they're just like different.
Okay. Yeah, I can
Like
totally understand.
I wouldn't knit a blanket probably, but I would crochet it. But I also
Yeah.
probably wouldn't crochet a sweater, just personally.
Yeah. Kind of I kind of am the same way. I for certain things I do prefer crochet. I think crocheting is good for certain things. I think it just depends on where you want to apply the different techniques, and I think they can always be applied somewhere where they work really well. But I tend to gravitate toward, yeah, like knitted sweaters more than I would like. I've seen a couple crocheted sweaters where I like it, but usually it's crochet that's trying to imitate knitting.
Yeah, so you're like, why don't I just knit it?
Or a super tacky grandma square sweater. That is something I'm into too. Like,
I
um,
do one day want to make like a granny square like trench coat. So do
um,
you think you like knitting or crochet better or just the
well,
same, different?
I can definitely say I'm more of a knitter. It's just like a fact, like a hard fact, like a, yeah, like scientific fact. Because I've just been doing it longer and I do it more. Um, and I
Yeah.
think the kind of things I want to make more tend to be knitted. But that said, I like incorporate crochet all the time. Like on that test knit top that I did a crocheted cast on and crocheted bind off, and I crocheted some of the seams together. So I think you can really use it to good effect.
Yeah, I've
Um,
used crochet to seam stuff together. That's interesting though that you did the cast on. Did you make like a chain?
yeah, I liked it. I wanted to do that because I made a chain, just a single crochet chain, and then you pick up the stitches in those bumps that are on the back of the crochet chain so that
Oh,
what's left
yeah.
is the knit looking thing.
Yeah.
Um, I learned that when I was making those hemp um, vegetable shopping bags.
Yeah.
That was a technique that you had to do. And I realized you can make a really cool looking selvage edge or a cast on edge with that, that looks like a knit edge. And I wanted the edges on this shirt to be like as raw as possible, but also look good. So
Yeah.
that's what
Like,
I chose to do.
that's really cool.
Yeah. And then what did you want? You wanted to know my answer to the craft question, like what do I do?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm like a heavy knitter. um that's in terms of, yeah. And then uh I also got into sewing more recently too, but I'm like way better at knitting still than at sewing, but I've been learning a lot.
Dude, your sewing, I
um
think, is like you're starting to really get better at it.
Thank you. I'm really happy about that. And like I think just making my own clothes and like or like household items is really satisfying to me, and it's like part of my like lifestyle or like ethics of trying to be sustainable and like self-sustainable too. And so like trying to be good for the earth, but also because I want to design things because I have like the idea for it in my head, and I you can't get it anywhere else, you just have to make it yourself.
Yeah.
um
Also, the
and
quality these days is terrible of these goods.
it's it's true, so you just have to make it yourself. i'm trying to I'm trying to get back to the earth, um back to the land.
Love that.
um so and it's almost like something that I force myself to do too, because like I don't have a lot of time to, like I don't have as much time as I would like to do all the fiber arts crafts that I want to do. But it's something that's really important to me. So like I like will force myself to like finish stuff, like because I'm like I need this piece of clothing or whatever it might be. Like I'm on like a years long quest to like knit myself enough socks to like actually have enough socks.
Oh, dude, can we talk about socks for a while?
Oh yeah, for sure.
Because, okay, that's another idea for my brothers and their boyfriends. I want to make them each socks, and the partners, the couples, will have inverse matching. So, like, the toe heel color will be the same as the main color of the other one, you know?
Yeah.
I made socks like a long time ago, but then I made my cat a Christmas stocking and I just used a sock pattern and like big yarn, and that seemed like a good pattern. So but you've made a lot of socks. So I'm like,
Not really.
really? It always seems
I
like a lot.
I've just gotten into it recently. Like some people have really made a lot of socks, but I've only made like, I guess maybe I've made like 4 pairs of socks at this point, maybe.
That's like quite a few, I think.
Yeah, because
Um,
sometimes some people never knit socks ever, so I guess.
I think I'm like starting to see the beauty of the socks, which is like the construction is so
Yeah.
interesting.
Yeah.
This one that I made, it was like knit purl rib, and then it you like do the heel flap, and then you like pick it up and then it continues on. I was
Hmm.
wondering if you've done any like cool construction or like techniques that you liked
Oh
in your
yeah.
journey.
I'm kind of on the quest to knit the perfect sock, like to engineer the perfect sock. And I've learned different things every time I've knit some. And I like to knit from the toe up because you can gauge how much of the yarn you want to use, or you can use all of the yarn and like have no waste if you want to. It's easier
Oh yeah, because
to
you could
do
just
that.
keep going up the leg and make
Yeah.
it taller.
Oh yeah, I need to start my camera again. Okay. Um, so yeah, I like to knit from the toe up, and I've been doing a reinforced sole. Like you can do, I see reinforced heels a lot of the time, but I decided to reinforce the whole sole and the heel to try to prevent the holes that happen like very quickly with hand knit socks.
Yeah, and it'd be really
Um,
comfy too, I bet.
yeah, it's like kind of squishier than normal. Um, Other than that, yeah, I think that's uh I guess I have been liking a twisted rib on the sock. I just like the way it looks.
Oh
And I think it
yeah.
also makes it a little stronger too. Makes the fabric a
Oh,
little stronger.
Do you want to see some tricks that Dolly knows?
Yeah.
Okay, Dolly, this is your star moment. Come here. We'll edit this out later.
No, I'm keeping this in.
Dolly is here. But they taught Dolly how to fist bump. Boop. Good job. Can you see that?
Yeah.
Okay, Dolly, now we're gonna do shaking. Dolly, sit. Oh, you're gonna go to your bed. Okay, that's even better. There we go. Dolly! You're so cute. Boop. Good job.
Oh, I should show you and the viewers my swatch that I just knit today for my next sweater that I'm gonna knit.
Yes. Oh, whoa, this is cool. This looks like little eggs.
Yeah,
I like this color.
it's spiky. It's really cool.
This is like those one size fits all shirts, remember from like the 90s and 2000s?
Yeah, those ones made out of like polyester or something.
Yeah, they were weird.
Yeah, I used to have one of those.
This is cool. Is this a testament for someone or is it like a pattern?
It's not a test knit, it's just a pattern that's really cool. It's by Ronti Studios, and it's a spiky sweater, and it's really cool. It's like the coolest sweater I've ever seen. I've been wanting to knit it for a while,
Yeah.
and I want to make a black one too, but the one I'm making right now is red, and I want to like knit it first. I considered dyeing the yarn before I knit it, but I think I'm gonna knit the sweater first and then I'm gonna dye certain areas of the sweater with like maybe some natural dyes or some food coloring because I learned recently that you can do that.
Oh, that's
um,
cool.
so
It's
to
like
make it more varied.
you're dying an Easter egg. That's what it makes me think of because it looks like eggs.
Yeah, you can use Easter egg dye too. It's really cool. I also want to make like a green one, maybe like a dinosaur.
Is it like short sleeve? I'm imagining it short sleeve. I
You
don't know why.
can make it however you want, but I'm making it cropped with long, it has kind of long bell sleeves, like
Oh, cool.
um and so those are all included in the pattern. Like you can make those variations, but you could like vary it as you wanted to, I think, because I've seen people making like tank top versions and dresses and stuff.
Yeah,
But yeah, I'm like obsessed with that spike texture.
it's cool. How are you like forming that?
It's in her pattern. Like I was, I had no idea how someone figured out. I don't know, figured out how to do that texture if someone else figured that out, but it was like kind of like witchcraft or something. Um, it is a series of like very rapid increases and decreases combined together in a certain way that makes the fabric, it mutates the fabric in that way, or it manipulates the fabric and makes it spiky.
Yeah, I think that's so interesting. I've been looking at a lot of crochet stitches too that are similar, like the increase and decrease makes it wavy.
Mhm.
Um, I just love all the fiber arts.
I
Just,
know, right? What else? Do I have anything else to show you? I don't think so. I think I showed you. Oh, I have the socks I'm knitting right now.
oh yeah, let's see these. Ooh, cute. Are you doing what's that called where you make two of them at once?
Yeah, magic loop method.
Loop method. That is cool because then you're right. You know exactly how much yarn you have. And it's like you're not gonna be like, shoot, I need a little bit more and then have to buy another thing or not be able to have more. And
Yeah.
then
Also, by the way, this yarn is also from the UNI sheep farm. It's just like the smaller gauge, the smaller size yarn.
really, yes.
Yeah.
Dude, shout out to you and I, Bunker Creek Farm, Meg. If anyone is on the west side of Washington or Oregon, Chehalis is kind of gross, but actually there's like some cool stuff there. But that
Yeah.
knitting store is the best knitting store I've ever been to ever.
Yeah.
And
It's really good.
so yeah.
I also like to plug their store on every episode of my Knitpod.
Yeah, and you can go to Shona's while you're in there. Shona is like just a delight, and she makes like really good food. So it's just like
Yeah, she does.
so comforting in there, and you can take like weaving classes. It's so cool.
Mm. Yeah, weaving is a craft that I have not yet gotten into that I want to really badly.
I took a class that was really cool on the loom, but I'm kind of into like you can also like weave without a loom. I
Mm.
got this book from the 70s and it has like some kind of free form weaving going on in there. But
Oh
what
my
I want
gosh.
to make is a vest, like a little square vest, and you can use like cardboard apparently as your like form. And I
Uh-huh.
want to weave like a rainbow vest.
Oh my gosh, I need to look into this like freeform weaving. I think
Also,
this,
the book is not a how-to book, it's more like a art book, like specimens.
yeah,
You can, see like maybe the possibilities and then like
yeah.
figure like the vest using the cardboard molds. I'm not exactly sure how it works, but I think I can like figure it out.
Yeah,
Uh
that sounds really cool.
yeah, and I want to make it all one piece. So I don't have to sew anything. It will just be like one solid thing. I might have to sew a little bit, but we'll see. That's like I need to finish what I'm working on.
Yeah, yeah, I want to get more into weaving at some point. And was there some other craft that I wanted to do? I don't know. I think I'm just mostly focusing on making stuff right now that I'm working on and trying to have like a lot of handmade items in my wardrobe.
Mhm.
And I have like a long-term goal of making more historical fashion items for myself.
Yeah, I saw you were gonna make
um,
like a smoking robe type thing.
yeah, I want to. I got this men's tailoring book about like fashion from the 20s, and it has it's like a robe. Oh, I need to start my camera again. Okay. Yeah, it's like a smoking jacket or just like a morning robe. And that would be cool to make. Um, and I want to, yeah, like make more historical fashion. And then I also have many plans for knitwear designs. So that's like the first time I'm introducing this topic on my Knitpod. So you heard it here first, but I have like lots of ideas for like knitwear designs because I want to get into knitwear designing.
Be really good at it, I think.
Oh,
Um,
thank you.
it's like if the more that you make, the better designer you are because you just pick little techniques up here and there, and you're like,
Yeah.
do that here. I want to remake. Remember when I was like designing a lot of crochet stuff?
Hmm.
There's like some stuff that I never finished, or I did finish, but I never like wrote the pattern. But I have like
Yeah.
my so I think I might need to like go back in time and like remake some of these crochet items.
Yeah, you should.
Yeah.
Yeah, because
Um,
you have a lot of cool designs that you have designed, and I'm going to put the links in the show notes for all of your links that where people can find your
yeah.
designs and stuff.
And also
Um,
maybe I never really like tested those patterns, so maybe I should make them free of charge for a while and people oh, I mean I think they're fine. I feel like everyone wants your patterns to be like perfect, but I make patterns all the time that are garbage. Like they don't make any sense or it's like why did you write it that way? Like this is so weird.
yeah.
Um Anyway, though, I was making these like slippers, raffia slippers. I want to finish those, or like house shoes. There's some stuff.
Did you have any other questions or subjects that you want to talk about?
I don't think so. Maybe next time I'll be far enough on the blanket that I can be showing that. And I'm excited to see this spiky sweater, how this progresses. And
Yeah, me
see
too.
Jingle Jangle Jesser shirt. Oh, it's gonna be really cool.
Yeah, that's going to be in some upcoming podcast episodes.
So,
I guess we can probably end it there unless you have any other things you want to say.
no, I think that's pretty good, honestly. Like
Okay.
the perfect order, that seems reasonable.
Yeah, it's then it won't be like too long. It'll be like a reasonable length.
Yeah.
I personally like super long podcasts, but that's just me. um, so yeah, thank you so much for being my special guest on this podcast episode. It was really good to talk to you and to have someone else to like bounce off of.
I love it. Thank you for having me. I just like love always seeing what you're making. It's really cool to be inspired by that.
Thank you. Same. And we inspire each other. Yeah, okay, so thank you for watching. And we'll see you next time. I hope that Kel will be on again soon. So you can look
I
forward to maybe seeing her again.
That would make me really happy. What if everyone's like, we don't want to see Kel, get her out of here?
I doubt it. I think this
Get
is going
stuck
to
with
be a
me.
fun episode for everybody.
Yeah. Well, thanks for
Okay.
having me.
Okay.
Bye.
Yeah. Bye, everybody.